I'm just getting set up. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier. I'm just getting set up. It's Friday, May the 18th. There we go. Hello to folks that are coming in. Hi, Anne. Welcome. Hi, Laura. Welcome, Laura. And Anne. Welcome to everybody who's coming in. I'm just getting set up. Hi, Jen. Welcome to you. Hi, Susan. Sue Hillis. But I always want to say Sue Hiles. I know Susan from several years ago. This is the first time, though, I think you've made it to one of my chats. Welcome. Hi, Tilda. Hi, Laura. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to everybody who's coming in. I'm so glad to see you guys tonight. Oh, yay. Let me get my other phone set up here so that I can read comments. Well, there we go. Trying to get it set up on live chat. On live chat, you see all the comments. But on this old phone, it's a little fussy with me. Oh, it's so good to see everybody tonight. Who else has come in? Hi, Ruth. Hi, Meri Zink. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My phone's a little shaky. I've got it set up on my camera mount up above, hanging off of some sort of a rack. Ruth, Connie. Hi, Connie. Welcome. Hi, Eva. Welcome to everybody who's coming in. Susan. Janet. Hi, Janet. Patricia. Danny K. Welcome to everybody. Woohoo. I'm zoomed in just a little far, but that might work. I usually start off my live streams by doing reverse collage. And all year, I've been working in this Childcraft encyclopedia. Hi, Kim Marie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. I think I still need to zoom out just a little. Sorry for giving you that ride. Whoops. It's kind of hard to control it on my phone. There. And I got to set the sound. I'm getting sound over here. Let's set my sound off. Sound. Yeah, getting a little bit of a sound. Okay. No, I don't want YouTube red. Alrighty, I think I'm set up. So, I have been working in reverse collage almost since the first live stream that I've done here on YouTube in this book, and it is really getting filled up. And reverse collage following what Dee Dee Willingham does. Hi, Connie. Welcome. And this book is getting full. What we do is, let me go to the one we did last week, which would be... It was a music one. Well, and of course, if you want to find it right off the bat, that's not going to work. Here. No, next page. No. Well, let's just go to one. This is a Halloween one that we did. When we do reverse collage, we paint out everything on the page except for the images that we want to keep. And I wanted to keep the text and this kind of a, well, actually, I think this was some sort of a temple, but it kind of looks like a little monster. And I found this photograph to go with it. And I think it's so cute because he's got his two front teeth there, and they've got the two front teeth there. And then I did it in Halloween colors. And then we've been putting these black and white photographs on there and then writing some sort of a text or journaling around it. This is one of my favorite ones. This picture was sent to me by Nancy Widner of these children, and they were sticking out their tongues. And on the opposite page were these children, and they were looking into one of those funny mirrors at the circus. And the quote on the page, the journaling on the page was, "Imagine this." And I painted out their silhouettes so that they would be sticking out their tongues at their own shadows, so to speak. It's one of my favorite ones. Tonight we're going to work in this one. And I got this picture. This is a picture I'm going to use. It's of a little boy in a sled. And his parents put a box on the sled of pure vitamin D. There's nothing better. And I got this out of the Reminisce, the back of a Reminisce magazine. And I've saved the journaling. It says, "I love how my mom and dad, Doris and Jim Carroll, used this old box to make a sleigh seat for my brother." And then it gives the date. I'm going to put that down here. And I chose this page, not so much because of everything that's going over here. I'm actually going to put the picture over it, but because of the snow and the sledding off over on this side of the page. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't really put the pictures on until the following week, except for I don't know what I did with last week's picture. I'm still hunting for it. But it's around here. I'm going to go ahead and do the reverse collage in a light blue, kind of a dark blue, maybe some green for the trees, maybe a spot of red. See who's come in here. Hi, Cindy. Welcome, Cindy Signsetter. Maria Duncan, welcome. Connie Monroe. Welcome, Maria. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Patricia Stubbs. Hi, Patricia. Mary Ellen, welcome. You didn't get one either. And are you talking about notifications? Oh, I don't know what's going on with those. I'm going to go ahead and sit down. And as always, I have trouble with my data connections, especially on Friday nights. So I buffer and spin, and if I lost my data connection, you won't see a response from me, and you'll wonder what's going on. Just hang tight. I usually notice it and come back, but it always waits until I got painty hands. So let's go ahead and do my reverse collage. I usually do that at the beginning of my streams. Okie dokie. Sue Hiles. Everybody say hello to Sue Hiles. Sue Hiles hosts the December Daily group over on Facebook. December Daily, anything goes. Several of you probably already know her, but this is the first time I think she's been able to make it to one of my live streams. So, welcome, Sue. Sue does mixed media. She loves to collage. She does Bible art journaling. And she was most recently, is that La Luro consultant? But I think she's closed that part of her life down, and I don't want too much red here. Let's just put some dots. I don't want my red to overpower the page. But to tell you the truth, you don't have to be too concerned about the background. This is just pulling the colors from the picture over into the parts of the page that you want to paint out. And I've been painting out the text of what this picture is. It's the Magic Mountains, painted in watercolor and temper in 1968 from Field Enterprises Educational Corps collection. But I like it because it's got this snow mountain here, and that goes really good with my photograph that I found to put in here. And there are a lot of different ways to do reverse collage, but I just end up mostly finger painting. And this section of the book is all about land, sky, and sea. Well, obviously, this is the land and the sky. And I already put my finger in the paint. And I'm not watching comments because I'm watching what I'm painting. And this really doesn't take too long. But we are getting this book filled up. And then I want to go back and I want to do some detail work in it. And I keep saying that. And I haven't done it yet. But I will. This is a book I definitely want to finish. Let's bring some of that blue kind of off into the margin here. And usually when I do these, I keep saying that when I do these, I'm not happy with them until the paint dries. And when the paint dries, when I come back and I look at them, I'm really happy with how they turned out. And sometimes I just like to take the side of my hand here and just swoosh it like that. It just kind of, I don't know, just something about that that makes me happy. So that's what I'm doing here. There. Of course, I get a painty palm. But I have a wet rag here, a wet towel. I need to do that in here. Okay, that's about all I do. And then I'll come back and do more work on this page later. So I'm going to set this aside. But this book is really getting filled up. It won't be long and we'll have this one all finished. Let me set it aside over here across the room. And the other one that we've been working in doing reverse collage is this one. Let me take a moment and look at chat. Oh, Mary Ann. Do I see Mary Ann McMillan? Woohoo! Hi, Valerie. Hi, Marcia. Welcome. I'm trying to say hello to folks that have come in. Marcia's new to our chat tonight, too. Welcome, Marcia. Valerie, Danny K, Patricia, Eva. All right, Mary Ann McMillan. Everybody say hi to Mary Ann. Mary Ann is known as Nana number 3 here on YouTube. So, just the sweetest gal you'll ever want to know. I'm so glad you made it, Mary Ann. Let me zoom in just a little. Mary Ann loves glittery pages. I was hoping you'd make it tonight, Mary. Woohoo! Thank you. I'm kind of looking at chat here. We've missed you, Marianne. Glad to see you back with us. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Sandra Knight. Sandra, yay. I'm getting lots of new folks. Sandra Knight. Everybody say hello to Sandra, too. Sandra, am I freezing? Am I freezing? No, I'm good. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell. Welcome, Sandra. Sandra watches my videos and comments, but there was a time there where she was doing a lot of outside work, and I think she's sold her home now. So she doesn't have to do. I could be lost with all of that, but she said she'd try to make it tonight, so I'm glad you did. Getting all sorts of new folks here tonight. Lucia says, Eva, tonight we are going to see I Feel Pretty Book Club. It is an, oh. Are you going to the movies or something tonight, Lucia? Trying to catch up on chat here. You guys sometimes chat right by me. Okay, this is another project that I've been doing reverse collage in. And this is an art doll magazine by Somerset, and it's been cut in half, Dee Dee Willingham style. It was actually created by Gina Ahrens, and Gina sent it in a Happy Mail box, and the minute I saw it, I put my little happy hands on it, and I've been doing reverse collage in it. Let's go to, I think this is the first page that I did, and all I did was paint out the white background, just do the reverse collage, and then I choose a quote, and then I do work with my fine line paint applicator. I don't know how much you can see of it. Hold it up to the screen a little bit more. This is a really pink pastel page, but it says, have you ever seen the Pixies? The fold not blessed nor banned. They walk upon the waters, they sail upon the land. And this page was all about snow pixie dolls by Lori Garrett Browns. And I'm trying to leave a credit to the person who creates the dolls. Here's another page that I finished. This page, the doll was actually created by Tisha Moore. And I left the doll alone, didn't touch that part, but I did the reverse collage, added the quote. And the quote was about, or the journaling about the doll was dare to wish. So I made 3 wishes in our live chat. I wished for a large studio, an RV for urban sketch wandering, and I couldn't remember what I wanted to wish for, and somebody said, well, wish for 3 more wishes. So that's what the 3rd wish is. And then I came in and did the reverse collage around it. And so we've done several in here where this is another one that's finished. On the back, you see a lot of feet. I'm going, you see, the magazine gets cut in half, so we get the bottom half of the page, which is a lot of feet. So I chose a quote by Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. That was the quote. And I did the reverse collage and the fine line paint applicator embellishment around it. Here's another finished page. Got more finishes in here than I imagined. But I have a lot that's not finished yet. Here's one where I've just done the reverse collage. So that gives you an idea of what I'm doing in here. Tonight I'm going to work on, I marked it somewhere. I marked it in big black lettering. This one. And this doll is actually done by Cindy Cloyd, Cloyd. And the name of the doll is Dream. And I've actually done the front part of this, but I'm not sure I can get to it right away. Let's see if I can find it fast. The Dream doll. Sometimes when you're looking for these, it's hard to find them. I'm not sure I'm going to find this. Yep. It's in here somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and work on this though. And the quote that I chose to work on, to use, was about the toes. It was the toes. It wasn't the dream. It's got dream written on it, and it's got a heart in a box here. But I chose it because of the little toes here on the doll. And the quote that I chose was, "It's a pleasant thing to be young and have 10 toes." The little doll has 10 toes. So that's what I'm going to work on. Let me catch up on chat here. You guys are chatting away and I'm yakking away. Oh, it's girls' night, Lisa says. Or Lucia, not Lisa, Lucia. I'm catching up on chat, just seeing. Connie says, "Did you do all the Zen tangles on that last page?" Yeah, all the work on the embellishment work here, I did that with my fine line paint applicator. Of course, now I can't find one. That one in black was the one I wanted to show you. This, I did the coppery, and I did the keys here, and then the black, but where's the other one? This one's done in white. Of course, when I want to find them to show to you, they aren't showing up. This one, on Tisha Moore's. I did all this in with my fine line paint applicator. But there's a lot to do in this yet. Generally, all I get done in my live session is the reverse collage. This one is all about fairy tales. These are fairy tale dolls. And it was actually about a flower here. This is called a flower doll. The quote I chose was by Hans Christian Andersen, "Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale." So I kind of stick the quotes in with the page, and then I'll come back and work on them. These are all about pixies. Did another one here. This one I have to do the Zentangle and the quote. This one was about calligraphy. Addison spoke in calligraphy while everyone else spoke in scribbles. That was a quote I got off of Goodreads. So let's go ahead and do this. And I need some pink. I'm going to choose this bright salmon instead of pink. And maybe a little bit of yellow. Maybe my, where's my Georgia clay? That's ripe tomato. Georgia clay is my go-to. A little bit of Georgia clay. So I hope everybody had a really good week. Yes. Did a little bit of art. Did a whole lot of art. It's been another long week for me. I'm trying to get all my flowers planted, and I got all the ones that I wanted to put in pots planted, but I still have things like zinnias to plant. I leave them till last because I know they grow pretty fast. I was going to work on it today, but it rained. We mowed the lawn yesterday, and it always rains. We mow the lawn, and then it always rains the next day. Go figure. I need a little bit of white, just a teeny bit. And as you can see, most of this in here, all the text that I'm painting out is really not storybook text. It's more text about how they created the dolls. So I don't have any qualms in painting it out because I'm going to put a quote and my fine line paint applicator will work on it. If there's something that I want to leave, now she's credited over here on the next page. I might write her name on this doll because I like, when I paint these pages out in the Art Doll magazine, I like to leave the artist credited. I just think that that's kind of fair. And really what we're doing is we're making an art journal out of older magazines. I can't imagine anybody tossing a Somerset magazine, but a lot of older magazines just get, well, even in my life, get cut up and tossed. You know, you can't keep all the magazines. There. I think that's all I'm going to do to that. I love this color. It's got a little bit of yellow and some white. Did I put Georgia clay on that? I don't even remember. I'm going to leave it just like it is, though. It's perfect. I might come in with a Georgia clay in my fine line paint applicator instead of black or white. Let me wipe my hands off. Mary says she lost her sound, but it came back. Huh. Well, I'm glad you can hear us, Mary. Tricia said she just subscribed to Jen and Connie. Good night, all. Good night, all. You leaving us, Anne? I guess Anne left us. At least she got to peek in. Mary, I've never seen you do reverse collage, so not sure what it is. Well, yeah, Sandra, reverse collage really is, most of us have learned about it from Dee Dee Willingham. Dee Dee Willingham is a wonderful artist here on YouTube, and she kind of got us all started doing that. And all it is you look at your page, and you decide what you want to keep and what you want to not keep. Let's do reverse collage just on this, just for Sandra's benefit, and some of you others that are new here tonight. A lot of you have seen me do reverse collage, but there are some new folks in here, so let's do reverse collage on this. I've been cutting up a Mary Jane's Farm magazine for fussy cuts. This is all about essential oils, and the front is all about apple cider, homemade harvest traditions. But what you do is you look at your page and you figure out what you want to keep and what you don't. So on this page, I'm going, okay, I want to paint out the Play Center Public Library. That's where I got it. So I know I'm going to paint this out. I'll probably keep I'm assuming that's some sort of a cider press because there's apple and apple cider there. And maybe I want to leave this homemade harvest traditions and maybe this little quote up in here. I think I'll paint out the name of the magazine and paint out everything else here. And what you do is you pull the colors on your page and your magazine, whatever you're working in. I'm just working on this one as an example. But in here we got red for the apples. We've got sort of some golden apple cider here, a little bit of tan, some kind of grays on the bench, and we got green grass. So let's start with green, spring green, maybe this green in here. And I'm just going to start painting out some of these areas that I don't want. And it's called reverse collage because when you collage, you usually collage pictures down on a page. And here you're kind of painting out the areas that you don't want. And you're pulling colors in. This is a lighter green, maybe a little yellow in there would work. But fine, I bought some more yellow but I haven't opened it yet. I got some right here, though. Let's mix a little yellow in there. So you just kind of paint out what you don't want on the page anymore. And of course, Dee Dee does beautiful art on hers. You know, there's just no matching what Dee Dee does, but you don't want to match it either. You want to have fun with what you're doing. Let's pull some blue in here, off of the blue, off of the top. And I'm just using craft paint. I'm using my fingers. You can use baby wipes. You can use a brush. I'm just using my fingers because, for me, it's just really, to me, doing reverse collage in a live session is so convenient because I don't have to worry if I'm doing something right or wrong with this. Let's put some blue down in here. Maybe a little bit. Now we want to pull some red in for the apples. Maybe some of that gray. I don't really have a gray out. I'm not sure I even have. Got a light blue. Got a pebble color. I'm going to try a little of this pebble. Maybe in here. It's kind of a gray color. And I found too, this magazine, I don't know if I'm going to have the same trouble, but I'll show you what happened to me on my ABC book on the cover. Let's put some of that gray down in here. And you don't have to be too particular. You're just kind of painting out the background and keeping the image that you want. And then when this dries, I'm generally more happy with it after it dries. What's that Georgia clay? I think I already put it back. I'm generally more happy with it when it dries. But then when it dries, you can come in and journal on it or do your own art. I use my fine line paint applicator a lot on it. And then that Childcraft book, in that Childcraft book, we've been putting black and white photos of children, and I have been having so much fun finding black and white photos to match the art on the page. And that's really all there is to reverse collage. And if you do it in a total book like that Childcraft encyclopedia or the Art Doll magazine, you really start to have a really nice altered journal. It's just a technique, but it's fun to do. And I like it because it's relatively easy, and I don't have to be precise with a lot of things. I'm going to put a lot of this paint back away here, so it's beginning to build up on my desk. And then I start knocking it over. And then I worry whether the cap is open or not. Let me put these away. Alrighty. So that's generally what reverse collage is, Sandra. Mary, I've never seen, oh, let's see, that's what she said. Let's see, that's really a cool book. Hi, Mary. Hi, Kathy O'Neill. Good to see you. You can tell I'm way back in chat, catching up with you guys. Cindy says, Sandra, basically, we're talking about reverse collage. Cindy says, Sandra, basically, it's painting out stuff you don't want on the page and then embellishing what you have left. I hope that helps. Yeah, now see, I could come back in. I left homemade harvest traditions. I might even paint out the harvest traditions or paint out harvest and have homemade traditions. And then I could come in and maybe paint in some apples or, you know, do some fancy work with my fine line paint applicator. You could just, or maybe I could run off of this little embellishment up here in the corner, which is sort of like a little quilt. It looks like a barn quilt up here in the corner. And I could enlarge that over here, bring that pattern over here, and then, you know, maybe play with this. So it's just it's a way to have fun on an art journal page with the images that are already there. All right, I'm gonna move this, and I guess we're ready for our mystery challenge, huh? I want to show you, I think I showed it in the live chat on when I did that. Cindy challenged me. I was boo-hooing to her that I did not have my Mornings with Meri video done on Tuesday. And she said, why didn't you just go live, Meri? I'm going at 4:30 in the morning. Are you nuts? Well, I didn't make it at 4:30. I made it around 6. And I'm really glad I did, because I got to chat with a lot of the international folks that, you know, I know. But, you know, when we go to chat live tonight, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, or even, you know, the wee hours of the morning. It's too early in the morning for them. So I might do an early morning, maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that. Crafty Mamas just went on. For those of you that like Crafty Mamas, her live just started. I just saw a notification come up over here. But this is where I am on it. And I was working on this Tuesday, and what I wanted to say was, if you choose a magazine that has a glossy cover, this magazine that I chose has a really glossy cover. And I didn't, you could sand it, but I didn't. And I put my acrylic paint on it, and of course it started peeling up. And so then I tried some gesso on it, and it peeled. So I ended up collaging these beautiful napkins that I got in Happy Mail. Aren't those beautiful? But this was challenge number 1, and I haven't gotten any further on it than when I showed it on Wednesday. But I have started painting the backs of the letters, A, B. The challenge was to make the alphabet in big letters, cut them out of pages of the magazine, and go through the whole entire alphabet. And it took me about 4 hours to get to Z, and cutting them and painting. I painted as I cut. But I got to Z. I got to Z in my chat. But I did notice that the gutters of my page were glued together. So it was like this. So now I'm going to have to go in and paint out I call these the gutters. It's the inner border here. And I'll do that as I paint the back. But see, I did get to Z. And then I worked on it. When I worked on the cover, I started painting the back of the letters. And it was suggested to me in the live session to leave the front of the letters alone, because I really like this. I like how you can peek through and see that this really brings out the kid in me. And the whole point of this is to just loosen up and have fun. It isn't to make great art. It's just to have fun playing with an old magazine that would be thrown away anyway. So I got clear to, I think I did, yeah, I did I in Wednesday. But see, I even missed the gutter here. I need to go back and put in the gutter. And then Sheila, I don't know if she's in here tonight. She suggested on the back of the letters, collage, like in nest style. And by the time we got to Jay here in our chat last week, we started coming up with words that started with the letter I was working on, like juice and jumping jack and jack-o'-lantern and that type of thing. So I am going to go back. I'm going to continue working on this. I started cutting out some little fussy cuts, and I'm going to collage in mass style things objects that start with the same letter, like hairpin or whatever H is, G, garden. I'm not thinking that well tonight, and so I'll do all the collaging on the backs. Now I'll have to touch up some of this. Some of this I'll collage and glue right over. But this was really fun to do, and it's nothing, what am I going to say? I don't call this a masterpiece. I call this just having fun and getting that creative creative flow going when you're stumped and you don't know what to do and you don't feel like doing anything and you want to do art. Just get out something and start playing, and this was my something. Which leads me to what we're going to do tonight for challenge number 2. And I said, we're not going to do 26 pages. We're going to do 1 page. It's not going to take all night. Let me catch up with chat. Let's see. Let's see. Marianne. I'm where Marianne lost her sound, but it came back. Good night, Ann left. Neri, I've never seen you do reverse collage. We answered that. Said hello to Kathy O'Neill. It rained there every day, Janet says. Oh, no, Janet. We had a nice day yesterday, but it rained today. I wanted to get out and plant my zinnia seed today, and it rained. So, but I did bake a rhubarb pie, rhubarb and strawberry pie, and by golly, that pie came out good. And it surprised me. I thought it was going to be juicy, but it wasn't. After it cooled, it thickened up. It was really good. We had it for supper. Mary, did your brother get your cart put together? Yes, he did, Lucia. And I'm still figuring out exactly what I'm going to put in it. I have right now what I have in it is a watercolor set, my pen markers, and that Mornings with Mary journal on the top card. But I'm going to try to figure out what I want to put in and I love that. You guys, I don't know if you saw, but Lucia gifted me with one of those hobby carts on, I'm not sure what you call them. I call them a hobby cart with wheels. You know, it's like on one of those IKEA carts. And it'll be ideal for pushing from the room where I'm got all my crafting stuff into the recliner. And I'll probably put fussy cutting stuff on the bottom shelf. I won't stack it up with magazines, but I may keep, you know, some things to fussy cut and scissors and stuff like that. So Lucia, thank you so much. I'm just gonna love that cart. Valerie says, I'm still making journal covers and other crafty things. And you all click on Valerie's icon, Valerie Critchley. She is, her icon, she's right under where Lucia is asking me, did my brother get my cart put together? Valerie did a really fun video. I saw it today. I think it just went up today, where she's got a book where she's keeping pieces of her fabrics. I'm not a big fabric collector, but I do have pieces, like I might buy fat quarters or like a yard, and I'll put them here or I'll put them there, or I think I'm going to keep them in this drawer. But she made like I'm going to call it a flowish style book, but she's keeping all those fabric pieces, samples of her, like she has yardages of fabric. Well, she takes a sample of them and put them in that book, and then she can work from if she wants a piece of fabric. I just thought that was an excellent idea. I put it on my community, a link to her channel on my community tab if you need to find it. But go check out Valerie Critchley, Critchley. Give her a thumbs up. Watch that video. I thought it was a really interesting idea. Lisa, let's see. Lisa says, Sandra, reverse collage is where you paint out parts of the page you don't want and then add anything else you want. It's good when it rains after mowing. Then the grass grows again. Oh dear. I suppose it is good. It's good for the yard. Patricia says, I love the size of this journal. Cindy says, Lisa says, Valerie, did not see you already answered the question. Oh, that's okay if you could both answer that. Oh, Cindy has a good suggestion. If you want to do reverse collage in the same style that Dee Dee Willingham does, and want it cut in half, you can take it to like your Staples store and they will cut that magazine in half for you. I haven't done that personally. We don't have a Staples in our area. We have an Office Max, and I don't know if they will or not, or an Office Depot. I don't really go there much. But some of those office supply stores will cut those magazines in half. The only thing I don't like about that is like that Art Doll magazine, you got all the heads at the beginning of the page, at the beginning of the book, and all the feet at the back. So I'm going to be doing a lot of twinkle toe quotes and get your feet moving and at the back of the book. Another thing is you don't have to cut your book in half. This is the magazine. This is the magazine idea playground that I did reverse collage in. See, I painted everything out. I glued 4 magazines together. I had to rebind this thing because I was just learning how to glue my magazines together, but it's really holding now. I glued 4 Good Housekeeping, and I think it was Capper's Farmers or Capper's Weekly magazines together, 2 of each. And this is called the Magazine Idea Playground. But see, I just painted out these backgrounds, and I really I need to do more. I've done some things, like this is where I started doing some cutouts. These are the ones that I've cut out. I don't know where my pages are where I cut them out. They're in here. Here's where I was playing with my fine line paint applicator after I did the reverse collage. I was just playing with my fine line paint applicator on it, seeing if what I could come up with. I really love the texture of this. This was where I was mixing. I know what this was. I wanted to see what would happen if, and it sort of came out, but sort of not. I mixed a tan, a gold, and a gray in my fine line paint applicator. I think I put the gray in first and then the gold. And I wanted to see if both would squish out. And they kind of did. It's like it started out with gold and mixed a little gray, got darker gold and a darker gray down here. I'm not sure you can see that. You kind of have to see it up close. So that's what I was experimenting with on these pages. And this is just, here's where I started doing some of those. Julie Faye found Bowser, I can't pronounce her last name, does what she calls lace pages. And so I've been experimenting with doing some of those. This is one of my first ones where you saw me doodle with the X-Acto knife. Well, this was way before I did that. And, oops, I was playing with, Shannon Green's, taking a credit card and swishing the paint down the page. Of course, mine is all darker colors, and then I went over it with my fine line paint applicator, put some pictures, collage some pictures on there. So you can do different things. This is just kind of like a book if you want to experiment and play around. And of course, in the back, I started with all the mind mapping. You guys know all my mind mapping fun. I started out with a female and a male character and everything that makes up a human, like your body shape, your face. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm back. Hello. Thanks for sticking with me. That's what happens. I was saying that there was a black spot on this page that I wanted to fix. This was a caricature I did of Gina Ahrens, and it had a spot on this page, and I was going to fix it. Well, I made another spot. I feel like I did to Gina what, let's fix this. How I got a black spot on my page when I went, on my face when I went to vote. Well, that's what I did to Gina. She's a good sport, though. There, Gina. I cleaned up my artwork. So I did a caricature of Gina. I don't know if that looks like her, but that's what I did at the time. I'll leave that open. I did another one way at the front of Dee Dee Willingham. Here. Right here. Dee Dee Willingham. So I've shown these before. Now I have to fix Gina again because I messed it up. I knew I'd mess it up. Of course, Gina. Gina Ahrens, go check out her channel. Yay. All right. So, I kind of got off on a rabbit trail, but that's what happens. We'll set that aside. Got Gina's face fixed. I've been meaning to do that for a long, long time. Let's look at chat. Danny says, you can get fine liners on Dick Blick, 2 for less than $6. Lisa says, I haven't looked on Amazon for them in a long time. They were a lot more than $4.95 back when I saw them. Let me tell you about the fine liners. If you see a fine line paint applicator and it looks like it's $14.95 or $15, chances are you are looking at one that has a masking fluid or a resist in it. And that's why they're so expensive. Your empty fine line paint applicator should cost you around $4.95 or $5. If you're seeing one for $15, $16 up around there, it has a masking fluid in it. And that's going to make it or a resist. And they're latex free. And those makes it a little bit more expensive. And I imagine when you see those $15 ones that might be what you're looking at. Just a thought. Hi, Lori Beaton. Welcome. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry about that. This happens to me a lot where I'll lose my data connection. Just stick with me. Laurie says, hi, Mary. I've been watching you. I've been busy with the grandchildren. Welcome, Laurie. What else have I been missing here? Janet says, marble dust is used to make homemade gesso, in case anybody was wondering what it was. Yeah, I've seen videos where they'll use marble dust. I've never really tried it myself. Might be interesting to get some marble dust and try it. Let's see. I'm reading chat. Hi, Kathy Whitney. Welcome. I'm kind of scrolling back through chat. Marianne McMillan, are you still with us, Marianne? Marianne, I lose my data connection a lot. All right, I've gotten way off track here. Let me zoom in just a little. Hi, Peg. Welcome, Peg Robinson. Peg, we were mowing the lawn yesterday. I missed your... Seems like Thursdays are bad days for me. Peg and Shell C, Peg Robinson and Shell C does a live stream on Thursday mornings around 9 o'clock Central Time, I believe. And it's called Art Joy of Sharing. You guys might want to catch her. They do a lot of interesting things. I think they were doing boho pages yesterday. So, and Peg, go check out Peg Robinson's channel because she does a lot of really interesting things. 10:30. 10:30? Really? Is that when it starts at 10:30? Does Meri ever get paint on her phone? Absolutely. It splatters up there. It splatters over here. It splatters everywhere. I have to clean my phone off. So tonight's challenge was to bring a magazine. And I think Sue, is Sue Heil still with us? Sue was asking if she could use a catalog. And I would say, yes, you can use a catalog, but it would be nice if it had like text articles in it too. You know, sometimes the catalog will have text pages, like an article about a designer or a project or something in there. But I just use a regular magazine that I got at the library that I'm going to throw away, because you don't want anything, you don't want to use anything that you have qualms about messing up. If you have a really nice magazine and you think, oh, I want to keep that picture of that hog, I want to keep that picture of the turkey. If you don't want to mess it up, don't use that magazine, because this is something that's going to get altered. So, and I chose this magazine because a country magazine typically has a lot of full page photos. And I want to do projects that work both with full page, beautiful pictures or colored pictures, and maybe also magazines where there's a mixture. Like, well, I just saw him here. Where did I see? Like, well, I showed this one before, where there's a sampler here, and there's a watercolor here, and then there's kind of like a little horse bank here. This is a mechanical horse. So, in fact, I think I'll just leave it with this one. I think I'll work on this one tonight, since we've seen this. Maybe I should zoom in just a little bit more. And what we're going to do is really simple. It's nothing that's going to be earth-shattering. It's a challenge. It's a challenge in the sense that it's getting your juices flowing. I'm going to pull these other two magazines out of the way. And I'm going to do kind of like a little demonstration first. And you might want to get a blank piece of paper or scratch paper just to try this out before you work on your magazine. But what I want you to do is get a marker. We're not going to use paint. I'm not going to use my fine line paint applicator. I'm just going to use a marker and the magazine. Now, I did say you could have paint, because in the end, if you want to do reverse collage or something on the page, you can, and I might on here. But for now, I just want to keep it simple. What I want you to do is, we're going to start on the bottom, right down here. The bottom margin, where it's all blank in there. I'm going to put my sample page over it just for now, but we're going to be working here. And all I want you to do is take your marker and draw a loop like that. Leave about 1/4 of an inch and draw another loop like that. Really simple. Draw a loop, leave about 1/4 of an inch. Mine might be a little bit more because I want you to be able to see it. And draw another loop. Then come through, do a loop. You might leave a little bit more in there. You don't have to, but leave at least 1/4 of an inch. I want you to do this across the border of that magazine. Always leaving about 1/4 of an inch. This is simple. This is just, now see, I didn't leave enough space in there. That's okay if you just leave it if you happen. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's kind of fun. But if you do that and get them too close together, don't worry about it. Just leave it. Just go to the next one. Try to leave about 1/4 of an inch. If the loops aren't the same size, that's okay. Just relax and do the loops. Is there anybody working along with me on this? Should I go slow? You looping? Yep, this is looping. I'll do it again over here just for, and of course, ignore this. My marker went through. That's okay. But that's not intentional. This is just another sample. Just loop, leave about 1/4 of an inch, and just loop. Don't worry if you mess up, just keep going. Just loop. And look how fat that one is, and how skinny that one is. That's all I want you to do is just loop. Hi, Aunt Beck. Good to see you back, Aunt Beck. We missed you all week. Aunt Beck's Creations. Aunt Beck has been offline for last week. She has an online stream on Wednesdays, and I missed you, Aunt Beck. I've been watching your channel. Aunt Beck says she can't stay, but she wanted to come in and say hello. Oh, she's on the phone. I know how that goes, Aunt Beck. I know how that goes. Okay, now once you've practiced your loops, I want you to come down into the margin of your magazine and about, depending on how much space you have, this doesn't have a lot of white space in the margin. Some magazines have more, some pages have more white space in the margin, and this one doesn't either. So just leave a little white space at the bottom, enough to see that you're making loops, and just loop the same way. And here again, this is just to loosen up. This is just an exercise to get your creative juices flowing when you want to do some art, but you just don't know what you want to do. You're kind of in that, I want to get my mojo flowing. I don't know what to do. I want to do this, but I don't want to do that. Now I'm going to end mine kind of, well, no, I think I'll put a last loop on it. Just like that. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Aunt Beck is on the phone. Aunt Beck says, going to be 2 weeks or more before we get internet back. Oh, Aunt Beck, 2 weeks. We're going to have Aunt Beck's Creations withdrawal pains. Peg says, here we go, loop-de-loop. Connie, all on a Saturday night. Sounds like square dancing, huh? Aunt Beck says, I will check in over the weekend while we were down at our house. Aunt Beck, tell us why you lost internet. What happened? Oh, well, she said bye. Bye, Aunt Beck. Thanks for coming. Thanks for peeking in and saying hello. Yeah, we've missed Aunt Beck this week. Kathy says, she's laughing at Peg. Note that we will be stuck in my head. Oh, the loop-de-loops will be stuck in her head. Janet says, no, 2 weeks and Aunt Beck's going to be gone. All right, so now that you've got it done on the bottom, I want you to turn your magazine on its side and do the very same thing on the side margin up to the top. And you can kind of connect these two loops if you want. It's kind of up to you. Or just start the next one. We're just doing loops. Very simple, kind of fun. Very similar to doodling. But notice, Meri is not using her fine line paint applicator for this. Meri is using a marker. And a lot of things that I do with the fine line paint applicator, you can do the same thing with a marker and paper. You do not have to use a fine line paint applicator to do this. You can. It's fun. You can do it with paint. but you don't need to. If you don't have fine line paint applicator, go to Dollar Tree or Walmart and get some markers. And I think Peg said that Dollar Tree was now selling pens similar to these Pen Plus Gear under another brand, but they're similar to this at the Dollar Tree. And I got my loops kind of small there. Don't worry if they're not all the same size, just loop around. And then when you're done with that, flip it to the top, turn it so you got the top, it's upside down. The bottom's here and the top's here, so your page is facing away from you. And do the same thing on the top margin. Whoops. Just looping, loop-de-loops. And don't worry about how perfect or whack or weird they are, just do them. And the inside margin, you can either do one or not. It's up to you. They're kind of hard to do because of the, you know, the page here. But I'm going to do one. Loops, loops, loops. Not hard, just fun. Just playing with your magazine and your marker. Just sitting there, maybe watching TV or listening to a YouTube channel. Kind of gets your juices flowing, especially when you're alone. You know, when you're alone and you do something like this, your mind, not only are you thinking about what you're doing, you know, kind of, well, how are my loops going and that, you're kind of relaxing when it's kind of similar to doodling, very similar to doodling, but it just kind of, you're doing something artsy. That's my explanation. Okay, but we're not done. This is just the base of it. How is everybody doing? Marianne says she's getting dizzy with loops. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-lie, Azure says. Old children's song, Mary. They're laughing. Kathy says, oh, that will be stuck in my head. Let's see. Janet says all done. Marianne says, hubby came in and felt my head and asked me what's the matter with you. Are you okay, Marianne? Big Bear. Marianne's husband is a sweet guy. So is Cindy's husband. I told him I just got loopy, Marianne says. Oh dear. All right. The next thing we're going to do, if you're not done with your margins yet, stop what you're doing and go back down to your bottom one. I'm going to show you on this again. I'm going to draw it just a little bit bigger, maybe as a sample here. I'm going to make some loops like this, bigger. Pretend this is your bottom margin of your page. What I want you to do is from the right to the left, like this is the right side of your first loop. I want you to do a loop and draw a little loop that will come from the right side and touch the left side of the next loop. And just do that clear across the page, just like that. So you're connecting these two loops. Just like this. And now, on some of these that are really close together, you can draw tiny little loops. Or if you want to skip it, you can just see this one here where I drew the arrow. There's not enough space to do a loop. You can just kind of put a little line there if you want. It doesn't matter. It's just playing. It only matters if you're doing a masterpiece. So I'm going to go ahead and do my, you want to do that clear around your page again. From your, you're going to connect your right-hand side of your first loop to the left-hand side of the second one. And then you're just going to do the same thing. You're just drawing little connecting loops all across. You only need to do one from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And you're just connecting those loops with smaller loops. And if you get them too close together, like I did here, say I have two loops that are real close together, and it's hard to get a loop, just draw a little line like that. So we're connecting all of our loops with little loops. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just looping. This is really kind of like a trim on your border of your page is what it is. But it's fun to do. And those of you that like to doodle or do Zentangle, you should be really enjoying this. Sometimes I don't have the patience for these type of things. I do when I'm playing with my fine line paint applicator. But I'm not a person that does those beautiful, beautiful doodles like, oh my goodness. Some of you do doodles, draw tangles with Dawn, and I think Kim Marie, if I remember right, sent me a card that was, oh, just blew my mind with the beautiful Zentangle. Was that you, Kim Marie? I think it was. This is kind of Mary's fast version of it. Not Zentangle, but just connect all those loops with smaller loops from the right-hand side to the left. One little loop connecting them. And some of these are too close together for me. I'm just going to draw little lines. Kathy says, yeah, talking about hubbies. Cindy said he is. I'm very lucky. Talking about sweetheart husbands. Danny says, we've all gone loopy. Kathy says, you deserve it, Cindy, and I agree. Yep, we love our fine liners, Marianne. I'll bet Janet does look cool. Janet does nice work. I am Danny. Danny, don't tell. I am. Because the next step, I'm going to show you on this big sample, I want you to draw 3 loops. 3 loops. A small one, a taller one, and a smaller one. A small one, a taller one, and a smaller one. A small one, a taller one, and a smaller one. Small, tall, small. Small, tall, small. All around your loops. Small, tall, small. You can make a little song out of it. Small, tall, small. I didn't say it'd be on key song. So, small, tall, small. Small, tall, small. And you can go as fast and as slow as you want. And this is very basic. This is very, very basic, but it's kind of fun in a way. Small, tall, small. And I'll bet you some of you are doing gorgeous work. I'll bet you are. I look at what some of you do. I've been watching what Janet posts on Facebook, and it just blows my mind. So you do that, small, tall, small, on every loop all around your border. Small, tall, small. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about perfection. This is not about perfection. This is about loosening up. This is about just not creating masterpieces. It's just about getting some of that art flow moving. And, you know, I find when I'm doing this when I'm alone, it really does relax me. And, of course, you know, people say that about doodling all the time. But it's true. And, you know, you just, your mind just kind of goes small, tall, small, small, tall, small. Of course, you could make up a little tune to go with that. Now I'm going to get quiet because I'm concentrating on small, tall, small. Looks like tatting, Connie says. Connie and Danny are figuring it out. Connie and Danny, if you're reading their comments, they're pretty close to where I'm going. Now, this is not going to take 4 hours, honestly. Doing the big border. I was tempted just to do a small border here, but I think when you can do, you know, I was thinking about isolating an image and just drawing a square around it and working on that square. We'd get done faster, but I think by seeing it across the border of an entire page, there's just something about it. And this is not hard. And if your loops are skinny and fat again, just work with it. Don't worry about the size. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, when things like fabric and trim, very seldom will you see a piece of fabric unless it's stretched tight. Very seldom will you see a piece of fabric that is perfectly in alignment. Usually it's got folds and creases, and trim will be, you know, folded up. And so just pretend your trim is got a little, it's got a little fold there. And you could do this with different colors if you... All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. It always does that to me when I'm... Am I back? The Tattered Web. Rose. Hi, Rose. Who's got... Good night, Peg. Thanks for dropping by. It always does this to me when I'm not watching. The Tattered Web. That's a good name for this page. We might just call it that. I was saying, and I don't know how much got caught on my last before it went off. I don't know if I'll do a challenge every week. If I do a challenge, I will announce it like Monday or Tuesday of the week so that you'll know it's coming. But what I was going to say was Cindy Signs Utter, if she's still here. Oh, she's still here. It's going to have another Pick 10 coming up for May. So when the week that we do that we do Cindy's Pick 10 or Lucia's Mixed Media Mashup, I won't be doing one of these. So we'll kind of mix it up with different things. But if I do a challenge, I'll let you know. But I won't tell you what it is. But it'll be something working in probably right for the first few challenges, something out of the magazine. So I wanted you to keep your magazine. This was the picture I was looking at, the old Colonel Sanders. To see my markers coming through on the other side, oh well. So how's everybody doing? Ruth, good night, Ruth. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about the data glitches. You know, I noticed Wednesday morning, I think it has a lot to do with Friday night too, and how many people are streaming. Because Wednesday morning, early in the morning, I streamed for almost an hour and a half, and I did not lose data connection once. You all want to get up at 6:30 in the morning? Come chat with Meri. I won't do that to you. I'll chat with the people on the other side of the world. That was really fun because Ian was there, and Linda McAllister from the Netherlands, and Wendy Mason, Australia, and Vicky. I can't pronounce her last name. DePose. She was there. They're all from the other side of the world, and I'm going. They very seldom get to come in here unless they stay up into the wee hours of the morning. So that was kind of fun. Meri, I want to make this again on black paper with a gold marker. All right, Janet. All right. That's what I like to see because, see, this is getting your creative juices going. That's the purpose of like a magazine playground, is you experiment with stuff and you're going, oh, you know what? I could do this. Or, oh, let's try it on that, you know? And you take it and you make it your own. And that's the fun of doing these type of challenges. Now, my page here we've got a trim here. So what I want you to do now is going to be really simple. And this is what Meri loves, the dots. Just, if you have a white border around your page here, between your trim and your end of your page, do your dots here. If you don't have that white border, come on the inside and do them here. Just draw a little dot, make it fancy. Just, you know, we're drawing lace. We're painting tatting, only we're doing it with a marker. And this is just one pattern. I am exploring different tatting patterns. And if you look at tatting patterns, you will see that they are mostly loops connected with connectors like this. And then they have their little loops, and their loops connect the smaller loops connect the bigger loops. And then they go in and they do a lot of other things too. And I'm still learning there. I'm still learning all the things that those tatters do. I think it's a very beautiful lace. And of course, somebody who tats would probably cringe. But you don't have to be perfect. This is just kind of getting inspired. And you know, if you were doing an art journal page and you wanted to do something like this, you don't have to do it across the whole border of the page. We're just doing this for fun. Maybe you just want to add a segment. Maybe you're doing a glue book and you go, that needs something. I'm going to put this in my glue book. Do it on, you know, just do it on the border of the page. Now I'm going to go in here and draw my little dots. Because I like little dots. And then after that, I have one more thing that I want to show you, and then we'll move on to something else. Do the dots all around your page. If you don't have a white border at between your tatting and your edge of your page, do it on the inside. In my case, I'm going to do it both places. Except for here, I don't have in the gutter. I don't think I can get into that gutter enough, so I'll do it there. And in my case, I'm not paying any attention to the images already on the page. You can see I just drew right over that image. So this page is really all about the trim. You might want to leave your images alone. That would be pretty too. Maybe too late to say that. Just draw the dots. Now, that really wasn't hard. That looks a lot harder than it was. This is one of those instances where people will work and go, wow, how long did you spend on that? How many hours did it take you to do that? And you're going in the kitchen and you're wiping the flour off your face and you're saying, I spent hours doing this. It'll cost you big bucks. So that was kind of fun. Now just pretend this is all white. In fact, if you have your paint, maybe, well, you could paint some of this out. I want to show you one more thing before I do that, though. Hubby is calling. Be right back, hopefully. Okay, Marianne. Mary, I wrote tatted web Mary. Rose said. Rose. Mary, I wrote tatted web. Cindy says, I thought for a minute that you were laying claim to dots, Cindy. Kathy said that. I'll have to go see what Cindy said. 1 dot above the tall loop. Oh, is that what you're doing? Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of got that, but not quite. That's a good idea, Janet. 1 dot above the tall loop. Mary, I write tatted web. Mary. Janet, that would be gorgeous. I'm kind of zooming back up through chat. Hi, Suze. I didn't see you come in, Suze Garrison. Hi. My loops look sad. Probably what it would look like if I was really tatting. Suze, it takes practice. Some of my first loops look really sad too. But the more you do, the better they get. Don't let a sad loop stop you. Just keep going. And in fact, I will say the fact that you noticed that they look sad means that you recognized it, and the next loop will look better because you said, oh, they look sad. Now I got to make them look happy. You know, so change the sad loops to happy loops. And this is just practice on a magazine. This is something we were going to cut up or throw away anyway. Sad loops are completely acceptable in this magazine, in this challenge. And I'll bet your loops aren't that sad anyway. What time zone are you in? Are you asking me, Connie? Connie, I am in Central Time Zone if you're asking what time I'm in. I start my Friday night chats at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Janet says, Mary, oh, I'm back to that again. Mary, I want to make this again on black paper with a gold marker, which I think is a great idea. Mary's tatting is not tattered, is it? I'll be back. I have to go pick up the kids. Okay, Connie. Are we ready to move on? Gold lace on black is very chic. I would agree. I want to show you one more kind of a motif that I'm learning. I'm going to draw it really big here. And all you have to do is kind of start your loop here. We're going to start out doing the 2 loops like that. Only here on your bottom, when you start out on your bottom leg, I want you to bring it down maybe like at a 45-degree angle. And bring it up like that. And then make another loop. And do kind of like another 45-degree angle. And then turn your paper and do the same thing. 45-degree angle. So you're going to do 4 of them. You could do more than 4, but we're just doing 4 here. And we're connecting each one of this with that line that's kind of like a 45-degree angle. It's kind of like a loopy square. But if you don't make a 45-degree angle, then you'll have something like this between them, which is okay, but not for this pattern, not for what I'm doing. And then do your connectors here between the 2. Just connect these 2. Now, depending on how much space I made a pretty long space here, so I'm not sure. I'm going to make two big loops to connect these. I'm not real sure about that. On my other sample, they were closer together, but I'm just doing 2 loops to connect them. Like that. Kind of like a chain stitch in between them. So on where you had these 45-degree angles, you've got 2 loops instead of 1. And then between these 2 loops here, you just have 1 little connector loop. And then on the corners, you'll have 2 kind of long chains. And then draw a circle in the middle. And from that circle, go to the center point of each loop. Like that. And this is kind of like a motif. And if you look at some of the tatting patterns, barring how much space in here, I'm not really sure about the space in there. I've seen more of them closer together. But you'll see this motif. And in fact, what I like to do is draw these again really dark. So you have your loops really like in a thicker thread, maybe like a yarn or something like that. They stand out more. And this is something you might want to, it's kind of like a lacy pattern. Something I've been playing with. And if you Google tatting, you will see this type of thing. And then they'll build off of these. They'll build off of these. Like they might connect here and do a loop here, a loopy here, you know, and they'll just keep building. I'm not going to go any further with that, but that's how really kind of how they build their lace. It's all little loops. It's all built off of these tatting loops. And I like to go in and play and do, you know, I'm not sure I've even seen patterns that have loops here, but I like to go in and play. I like to make them lacy. You can get artsy on it. So that's kind of the challenge. That's that was my Meri challenge number 2. Now, if you want, you can, like I've got, I don't know if you did a sample page, but I'm thinking I want to attach this. Maybe I'll just clip it on here somehow. Maybe I'll use some washi tape and washi tape it in. Maybe I will. Right here. Now I'm just playing. And I'm still working on my challenge, my alphabet book. My next goal in there is to get all my painted letters finished. Paint the back of all my letters, and then I'm going to start finding images. But I'll do that off camera. I won't bore you during a live session with that. And I'm just gonna kind of connect these. You know, I should connect them on the back over here. I'm figuring this out. I'll connect them here so that connect them here. Yes, Meri does things the hard way. I never said I was perfect. I'm just like the rest of you. I'm just having fun with my art. So did you enjoy that challenge? I'm not saying the next challenge will be a lace challenge. It may be something. This is Meri's form of zentangles or doodles. Maybe they're loodles for lace plus doodles. Rose, you have an imagination. Loodles. We're just loodling. Loodling, loodling. Rose, how is your eye tonight? Is your eye feeling better? I hope so. Tickled Pink creating with Susan Hillis. I totally enjoyed this. I can't stop. That's what I like to hear. Did you know there are many, many different ways you can take this if you enjoy doing it? Not everybody enjoys this, and that's okay too. If you don't enjoy something like this, a lot of people don't. So there are a lot of other things you can do too. I'm not going to do lace on all my challenges. Just do what you enjoy. That's the thing. There we go. And you know what I'm thinking on this other alphabet book that I did? Where is it? I am thinking, you guys might hate me. I'm thinking, am I still here? Am I alive? Am I here? Yeah, I'm here. I'm thinking I want to cut this down to this size of page so I can fit it in my book. How hard would that be? Let's see. I'm just going to pull one of these out. Oh, I'm pulling out my little faces. This is my Society of Idea Collectors, which I need to do some work in. My goodness. I got working on my ideas and not my Society of Ideas. See, if I cut the top, see, I think I can do that. It might shorten some of my letters. I'd have to cut this peacock a little. No, he just have to be cut. Maybe I could glue him back in there somehow. I want him to fit my... Should I be brave and do it? You guys want to watch? Let's get out my cutting board here. And I've got ink. I've got all my inks out because I've been playing with my acrylic ink up here. Oh, one fell over the top, but it's closed. I'll have to dig it out later. I make sure that I screw the lids on those inks really good because I don't want ink on the carpet. In fact, I should put them back in the... I might get myself into trouble here, but I think I'm going to... That's what these challenges are for, to experiment with things. I want to see what will happen with these letters if I start trimming this magazine down. I'm putting my inks away so I don't knock any more of them off the edge. I wish I had a desk as wide as the... I don't know. My little desk gets me into trouble. All right. So what I'm going to do here, maybe I'll zoom out a little. Hold it a minute. I'm going to zoom out there. All right. Now look at chat and see what you guys are telling me before I get out the X-Acto knife. Rose says, thanks for asking, Mary. It is tired. Rose, we're talking about the eye. Rose's eye. Timer just dinged. Be back. Lisa says, we are here to support you as you trim, Mary. Okay, Lisa. I think what I'm going to do, see if these letters, if I trim about an inch off, I'll catch, like here, this P. I'll just trim a little portion of the P, but if I trim a inch or a 3/4 of an inch down here, I'll just get the bottom part. The same with the T. The U and the V, I'll just trim. It won't hurt if I trim those. Same way with the X, the Y, and the Z. I can easily trim off of these pages. I think the only thing it might hurt, let's look at the A. It might reshape my D a little, but that's okay. I might have to redraw my A. The A already is about 3/4. I'll trim a little off of the top. My B, it might hurt my B. It'll be an awful thin B up there, but so be it. I think I can safely trim. Now on the side, I want to trim probably about maybe a 1/2 inch off of this. No, probably about 3/4 of an inch there too. So I'm thinking I need to take 3/4 inch off of all borders. That's what I'm going to do. It may be a disaster, but... And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. This is the 1/2 inch. I'm going from this line. I'm just kind of lining my book up with that line. And this is the 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. And this is the 3/4. And I'll get that peacock. But that's okay. I'll fix it another way. Maybe I'll just have 2 peacocks. Maybe I'll put something else there. So I get out my X-Acto knife. Let's see, what's going on in chat? Bye, Rose. Rose had a timer on. Let's see. Kathy says they're here to... no, it was Lisa who says we're here to support you as you trim. Kathy says, I'm lost. Why are you trimming it? I'm trimming it because I want to fit it into my Society of Idea Collectors. It's larger than my Society of Idea Collectors. And this is the page size that fits into my Society of Idea Collectors. So I want it to fit in here. Of course, I didn't think about making it fit before I created it. I was just thinking ABC. So I'm thinking if I cut off 3/4 inch here, I'll be pretty close. So that's why I'm trimming it. Patricia says, no! You're going to cut the peacock's head off. You know, I did that in one of my other journals. One of my glue books had a peacock's head, and I cut it off. It was one of my glue books. And I feel so bad because I chopped that peacock's head off, but I found another head. And I gave it another head, so it was okay. Here I might just put another peacock on there, or maybe just have 2 peacocks and paint this one out. I want it to fit in my, I want my art to fit in my, that journal. I'm putting my Society of Idea Collectors and my, my creative year and these projects that really I kind of do on the fly. I'm going to put them all in that one binder, Custom Keeper, that I got from Shannon Green, that one with the wraparound cover. I should probably stand up to do this. Let me stand up. You might see my head might get in the way. My beautiful gray hair. Sorry about that. All right. Believe it or not, that's 3/4 of an inch. It looks like more than that to me, but it's not. All right. Don't look, because here goes. I'm just going to trim like this through the entire magazine. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of a mess it makes. There goes all my beautiful letters. All my painty letters. Oh, look, see that peacock is still peeking through there. Look, see, look. I can still fit that peacock on, I think. I think he may be able to join his buddies. I'm just curious of what's going to happen to these letters. You want to, if you do this, you just kind of want to go slow, kind of knock off the pages that you've cut through and cut through some more layers. I think there were around 50 pages here. No, probably closer to 35. I had about 10 pages left. There. But look at, see? I can put the peacock's head back on somehow. Maybe make him a, well, he'd be a pretty skinny peacock. But I could do that and then kind of paint. We'll see. I don't like that. I might just paint it out. We'll see. I'll come back to that later, decide. Now let's see what I did to the letters. See, the letters aren't too bad. The A kind of got trimmed, but we can just draw that. The B is okay. C just got kind of trimmed on the edge. The top of these will get trimmed too. So I don't think it harmed it too much as far as the letters go. And it trimmed the right-hand side of them. That's what happened. But that's okay. I kind of like that. All right. So now I'm going to come down and do 3/4 seems like an awful lot to me here. I think a 1/2 inch might be good. And I'll save the head of that peacock. So a 1/2 inch would be here. Kind of line it up. Would be there and there. But just get the top of that. All right, here goes. I'm not entirely sure that's straight, but it is what it is. I'm not changing it because I already cut. And I might go back and cut the pages where I'm doing my challenges out of that magazine. And I'll do another challenge with my loop-de-loops. Because I want them to fit my Society of Idea Collectors. I'm kind of liking that. Where's my peacock again? What did I do with him? I saved him over here. I'm still thinking I can save this peacock somehow. Put him like that and then maybe paint. Put paint. Blue and green paint and paint him out. Paint his head back in there. He'll be a repaired peacock. I'm going to save him. Now let's see what it did to the top letters. Not too bad. Made a skinny R. See what it did to the A. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm happy with it. I can live with it. This is just play. I want it to fit my Society of Idea Collectors journals, what I want. That was an afterthought. Let's go back and do this. See, it's going to fit this. So I would say about another 1/2 inch off the bottom. Look at this. Whee! Lots of scraps. I'm sorry to say, I think I'll probably throw these away. I could just put them in a glue book, I guess. Scraps! Painty scraps! They should go in a glue book. Oh, let's not worry about them now. Let's do this bottom half. I think I'm not even sure that's a 1/2 inch. Let's see how much. Line it up. 1/2 inch might be too much. It is probably more like a 3/8 of an inch. That's what I'm going with, just this little spot in here. Here it goes. This is how you have fun. Fun on a Friday night. You try different things. If it's a fail, it's a fail. I've failed in front of everybody. The whole wide world on the internet. It's kind of harder to do the sides because they're attached here at the border. But you just keep working through it until it's all cut through. There we go. Whoops, let's get that blade out of the way. All right, let's get the scrappies out of the way. Let's see what happened here. It's smaller. I don't think it hurt it. He cut the P down. Oh. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Didn't destroy it that much. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I think I'm okay with it. K, L. Okay, let's see how it fits in my... I got paintbrushes all over the floor here. I knocked them off. Let's see how it fits in my Society of Idea Collectors. Let's see what's going on in chat. Connect up my phone. Let's see. Murder in Nebraska. Patricia says. That's funny. Put the leftover peacock on the P page. Oh, that's an idea, Azure. I like that idea. Let me go clear up the chat here, up to the beginning, catch up with you guys. Patricia, I'll go back to where Patricia said, no! Cindy said, it's okay. You're going to cut the peacock's head off. I can't look. It happened. I like Azure's idea of putting the peacock on the P page. That's a good idea. I'll paint this out. It's kind of what's going off the edge of the page anyway. I'll just paint this out, maybe with a light blue, or maybe, I don't know if I got another napkin like this. I may have, I don't know if I got this in Happy Mail. It's nothing that I own. Somebody sent it to me. I don't know if they sent me two. But 2 peacocks on there is good enough. Maybe just paint this out right here and leave this as kind of part of the flowers. Lisa says, take more from the bottom and save the peacocks. Uh-oh, too late, Lisa. Mary, think about something else. I like you guys. I love reading this, especially after it's all over with. Decapitation begins. Sandra says, Mary, did you say paint wouldn't stick to glossy pages? Yeah, very glossy pages, like the inside of this magazine. The back of this magazine was a very glossy page. And if you paint that with like an acrylic paint, even after it dries, it'll stick, it'll dry, but it'll peel off. You can sit there and peel it away. And the same way with gesso. You might try a patio paint. I've never tried the indoor-outdoor patio paint. But my solution to that, you can sand it. Some people will sand, you know, like the playing cards. They'll sand it and rough it up and then put a gesso on it. I didn't do that. I collaged a napkin over it, and that seemed to help it. So, Sandra, if you're still in here, that's what I was referring to. She could put a Creeple People in there, Danny K says. You know, I need to catch up on those Creeple People. They sound so interesting, and I just haven't had the time to catch up with all the neat things going on out there. Creeple People is a good idea. Creeple Peacock. Sandra, on the cover, just light sand it and it will. Yeah, Cindy says if you sand it to rough up the glossy part, then your paint will stick. And I didn't do that. My solution was just to collage a table napkin on. Well, for one thing, I don't have much. I've got a sheet of sandpaper, but it's put away. I need to get some sandpaper. It's on my list. Sandpaper's not expensive. I can get it. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, Cindy, that's a good solution to lightly sand a glossy surface. I'm reading comments. Right, Danny. I love those creeples. I need to catch up with the Creeple People. That's going on with 70 Acre Studio. They're doing Creeple People there. Danny, let's see, says they're so much more fun to make. They're talking about Creeple People. Till you cut off the top. Nice and slow. Watch your fingers. I do, Janet. I do. I'm not going to cut myself again. I actually, what was I doing? I scraped my hand here, got a cut there, and got a blister on my foot from mowing the lawn. Not this week, but last week. Those things aren't fun. So I watch it with those X-Acto knives. I took the dog out and came back to Meri killing a bird. I'm catching up with chat. Put the leftover peacock on the P page. I like that idea, Azure. Weave them. Weave these. Yep, they would make good paper weavings, wouldn't they? Kathy said to weave the leftovers. Patricia's saying murder in Nebraska. This is how you scare your friends to death. This is what we do on a Friday night. Meri has to clean up the crime scene. And we were screaming over here. You created your own font. Yeah, this is kind of like a clunky font, isn't it? It's a, what do you want to say? It's an X-Acto knife font. Meri, I have to leave you. Thanks. Good night, Sandy. You're probably already gone, but good night. Glad you could join us tonight. Your art room is rebelling. Paintbrushes. I went to the kitchen to get my jar. I dropped paintbrushes on the floor. I had to pick them up. Laura says, I'm going to leave the scene of the crime. Good night, Laura. I'm just catching up. You're probably long gone. Good night. Thanks for joining us. I want to see how this fits in my Society of Idea Collectors. That's where I am on this. So let's just take and put a rubber band in here, kind of, what, right here between the M and the L and M. And fit it right here. Probably not the exact center, but it's close enough. And I'm just going to put it right here in the front for, whoops, I got it upside down. I need to put a front and back cover on this thing. I'm just going to put it right here in front for now. Yeah, see, now it fits nice. Yeah, they love it here. I just need to fix this little peacock. Yeah, now, shall I fix the other ones? It'll mean cutting my lace up, but I can draw another lace. I'll draw another page here. Or, you know what I could do? Is I could tear this page out and fold it to fit. That's what so I won't have to cut it up. Because I haven't done any more work in this magazine other than this page. And I'm just going to gently tear this one out. And we'll fold it so that I won't, somehow, I'll fold it. So, or maybe just drop it in a, you know, make a pocket and drop it in a pocket. So I won't cut it, but I'm going to cut this one down to size now that I'm started here. You guys got me started on this. This is just as fun as reverse collage, right? Where's my ruler? Where's my X-Acto knife? Here's my X-Acto knife. Here's my ruler. All right. Are you ready to watch me butcher this magazine? Now this one I can, ooh, look at that. That'd be fun to play with. Subline Stitcher, Jenny Hart, a former museum archivist. The Texan-turned-Californian introduced contemporary design to the sometimes staid world of embroidery via her company Subline Stitching. Ooh, I like that. You guys probably can't see it too well, but... All right. Let's see. I think I'll just do the same thing. And it's about the same size. It's about 3/4 of an inch and about 1/2 inch. Maybe not even 1/2 inch, about 3/8 of an inch. So when I work on these other pages, the magazine will have already been cut. I need to stand up again. You leaving us, Sue? Good night. Thanks for joining us. Come back again if you can make it. I loved having all the new people in tonight. Sue and Marianne and Sandra and some of the other gals that I haven't met before or new. Welcome to all the new folks in here tonight. And I have to tell you, I try to keep up with the comments, but oh, thank you, Sue. And Sue, we are so glad to see you back on YouTube. I'm going, yay, Sue is back with us. Have a great weekend to folks that are leaving. My live sessions, typically go for, I try not to make them, last week it went like 4 hours. That's too long. I tried to go for 2.5 to 3 hours at the most. We've been going for about 2 hours and 7-8 minutes now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these. And Cindy, are you still with us here tonight? Cindy Utter? Cindy, when does your Pick 10 go live? Yeah, you're still with us. Do you have your live Pick 10 on Monday? So next week we'll plan on doing, instead of a challenge, we'll plan on doing Cindy's Pick 10s. Those are fun to do, and Cindy's given us... Good night, Laurie. Thanks for joining us tonight. You're another one who's new to me. I'm so glad happy you guys have joined us. All you new folks. Love having you. Next week we're going to do Cindy's Pick 10. Cindy's given us permission to actually watch her video from my live session, which is really it's really fun. Because I play Cindy on my phone here, and I don't watch her Pick 10 before I do it. here. So everything that she chooses is new to me. And it's really fun because I'm working right with her as she's doing it. And they're really fun to do. And Lucia McGill has some mixed media mashups. And I've been doing some of her mixed media mashups too. Or I think we did one. All right, I'm going to cut this. Just go slow and steady. And I kind of push these pages off to the edge. This magazine's not as hard to cut because I haven't painted in it. It's just all magazine pages. So they cut pretty easy, and I've got a fresh blade here. I like these utility knives where you break off the blades to the next level down. I really do like those. They are worth the money. Just keep what I've got going here. Get those off. I cut these down to fit my art journal, and then at the end of the year I'll have everything all in the same size in one journal. And it'll be that great big custom keeper that I got from Shannon Green. And if you haven't seen Shannon Green's custom keepers, oh, you're missing out. Go to Shannon Green on YouTube and click on one of her videos and go to her Etsy store and check out her custom keepers. And of course, she's got videos too of how she's made them. Yeah, I like that. And it doesn't destroy it too much for what we want, because we're just playing in these. To cut off the G, but that's okay. I love this. It's a creativity issue. All right, what's more fun to play in than a creativity issue? I think I said 3/8. That's more than 3/8. Where am I at here? 1/4. There. Excuse me while I measure. In there. That doesn't seem... That's right below the C. Let's see. No, I need to... Well, no, 3/8. No, that looks right. 3/8. Excuse me while I measure twice. All right, here goes. This one isn't as hard to watch, is it? Because we don't have anything done on it yet. And I took that one page that we worked on tonight out, and I'll put it in a pocket or an envelope or something. So I didn't really destroy it. There. Oh, I like that. Country living. All right, now this side. Yep, about 3/8 again. Probably could get away with a 1/4, but I'm going to go with 3/8. This is what you come to watch Meri do, is trim magazines. If any of you have to leave, don't feel bad. I understand this is Friday night. You have families. You have things to do. Friday nights are big nights, especially if you've got high school kids. Things going on in the community. I understand that. This magazine's not straight. I understand all that. But if you want to stay, you're welcome. I'm just getting this ready to go in my journal. There we go. Yeah. Where's my Society of Idea Collectors? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I get these, I'll show these to you. I get these at Walmart. They are what I am using for my, they're temporary because rubber bands will eventually dry out and crack. I'm going to get some of that elastic for my, well, and Shannon's Custom Keeper has a nice elastic on it, but I'll probably be adding more. And you can buy the round elastic. But for temporary, I'm using, they're called file bands, and they're big and thin. And that's what I'm using to put things in my Society of Idea Collectors like this. And I'll just find a page here and put it like that for now. And for now, I'm just going to put it in the front. I'll probably rearrange this because I don't want it to stay in the front. I'll probably get it out and work in it as we do our challenges like that. And then I'll put this, I'll fold this and put it in a pocket. I'll just put it here for now. So, to completely bore you, see my little faces? Inchy faces? I was going to carve little stamp inchy faces. That's as far as I got. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Mary, you have to plug Target once in a while. Target. Why am I plugging Target, Connie? Isn't this fun? Maybe I'll go back and do... Well, you know, I was going to do... Somebody had said inchy faces, and I don't know if that was Vicki Brown or Cindy. It was one of my art friends who said, do faces on inchies. And so I started sketching them. And I kind of quit doing that. And I got off on doing that shamrock and the diamond instead. Oh, because you work there? All right, Connie. Let's plug Target because Connie works there. This, I don't know if I'll have to trim this much. This is... Well, yeah, I got to trim it. I have to trim it on the top or the bottom. And maybe both. Connie, we will plug Target. A lot of the crafters do like going. The reason I don't talk about Target much is that we don't have one in our area. I have to go up to Lincoln to go to Target, and I've gone to Lincoln once in 2 years. But a lot of the people who have a Target in their area do like those Target dollar bins. Because I hear a lot of, on the videos, they'll say, oh, I got this at the dollar bin at Target. So, and when I lived in Madison, I'd go to Target all the time to check things out. Mostly because it was next door to Michael's. So, yeah. I think maybe a 1/4 inch or maybe 3/8 of an inch again. Target dollar bins are fun. That's what Rose says. So I used to check out Target all the time. I just don't have one near me now. That's probably why I don't plug them. I have Walmart. That's why I talk about Walmart all the time. Wally, yeah, Walmart. So that's why I talk about it, because that's what we have in our area. And then we have another regional store that's created by, I mean, was started by a local family. And it's called Allen's. It's like a department store, but they have a craft aisle. One aisle, but they have Tim Holtz products, and I can find my Deco Arts paints. I have to pay a little bit more. Like I have to pay almost $2 to get a 2-ounce tube of Deco Arts that I can find at the Americana, and they charge the same price, I believe, for their metallics as they do for their matte. Now, I could be wrong there, because but $2 seems to be the price that's stuck in my head. And I'm going, I really do wait for the sales at Hobby Lobby. And I go up to Grand Island and catch the sales at Hobby Lobby. And I can get it cheaper for, like, when it's on sale for 30% off. You know, it's like 89 cents or 83 cents or how much, around in that area. But I'm always buying apple barrel paint at Walmart because I pay 50 cents for a 2-ounce bottle. I'm trying to not buy so much of it, but when you use a lot of the whites and blacks, yeah, I don't think I'll have to cut the side here at all. I'll cut this down maybe 1/4 of an inch. Let me cut this down and then I'll catch you on chat again here. Yeah, I'm going to go up to 3/8. It won't hurt to make it 3/8. And if you ever make your own journal, and, you know, a lot of people don't mind the pages being, junk journals being uneven. They're fun. But if you ever want to trim your pages so that they're even, this is how you do it. You might practice on some magazines just to get practice doing it. Just be careful. Just go slow. Make sure that everything's cut through. Go slow, and there you go. These I am going to throw away. You just can't keep it all. All right, look at that. That's all ready to go for another challenge. I'm going to throw these away, though. And I have my folder band, and we'll just put this. We'll fill my Society of Idea Collectors up with challenge magazines and tell Dee Dee that I'm filling up my Society of Idea Collectors journal really fast. I'm liking that. I am liking that. Yes, I am. This is April. I need to work on April and May yet in here. Time's getting away from me. All right. What to do next? Let's catch up on chat. Maria said goodnight. Good night, Maria. Let's put my X-Acto knife away so I don't kill myself. Target bins are fun. Maria Duncan, gotta go. Watch your fingers. I did. No cuts tonight. They're kind of messy with paint. I gotta plug my phone back in. Good night, Maria. Alrighty, what shall we do next? Clean up my mess? Throw away the magazine. I might keep the painty ones. We'll just push them aside here. Where's my peacock? I gotta save the peacock. He's in here somewhere. Here he is. We'll save the peacock and the back page of. We'll save them. We'll put them in the magazine for the P page. All right. What shall I do? What shall I do? There's some more peacocks here. I don't have anything else planned for tonight. Lisa says, I posted my page on Instagram. Oh, was that your Loopy page that you posted, Lisa? Lisa Conway, 3196. Did you say what, Tim? Did you say what, Tim? What are you saying, Connie? I don't know what you mean. Did you say what, Tim? Okay, Lisa, I'm going to check it out. Check out Lisa Conway 3196 to see what Lisa did for her loops tonight. Oh, what time zone I'm in? I am in the Central Time Zone. So it's probably about, let me check the time here. It is, oh, it's almost 10 o'clock here. So we've gone almost 2.5 hours. That's why I'm running out of things to do, because that's probably about as long as my live sessions usually go. So I don't like to keep people all night, especially on a Friday night. I know you all have lives and you want to start your weekend. You have big days tomorrow. Don says, I would love to see you make stamps. Okay, we'll plan on that. I'll plan on doing like a little eraser stamp. I'll tell you what. This is my little bunny one. I'll carve a little eraser stamp and I will announce it. I don't know if I'll do it next week because I want to do the pick 10, but I'll announce it. I'll put like on Monday or Tuesday of the week, I'll say, this week I'm carving an eraser stamp. It might be the week after next. Watch for my announcement and we'll just plan on carving an eraser and I'll show you how I do it. I have videos of doing it, but I do go into fast forward. But I could do a really simple eraser stamp carving. Maybe like a little inchy or maybe even like a twinchy or a thrinchy. And Ian Jackson, if you all know Ian Jackson, he was saying, he was being funny, and he was saying in France, they would call them Frenchies. He was being funny, but I thought that was kind of cute. Inchy, twinchy, Frenchy for France. Yeah, Don, I'll announce it. It probably will be the week after next. I'll write that down. I'll make a note of it and announce it. But I think that's a good idea to carve a stamp in one of the live streams. That's a good idea. Thank you for the suggestion. Mary, are you closer to Kearney or Grand Island? I'm closer to Grand Island. I'm about 70 miles from Grand Island, and Kearney is probably another 30 or 40 miles, guessing. Around. It might be a little bit closer from Grand Island. Kearney is a little bit further west. I would go up to almost to Grand Island, not quite to Grand Island, to catch I-80 and then go west to Kearney. I'd have to get the exact number of miles, but it's got to be 25, 30, 40 miles from Grand Island, approximately. Yeah. Kearney is University of Nebraska. They have a University of Nebraska at Kearney too. It's kind of like the Central Nebraska University. The main campus is on Lincoln, and then they have a campus up in Omaha, and then they have a campus at Kearney. Their main campuses. So I don't want to call it a university town, but there are a lot of university students that go to Kearney. Grand Island is more, doesn't have a university. It has a big Central Community College. They have the Stir Museum, and they have more shopping up in Grand Island than the area where I'm at. Like I said, we got that local store called Allen's that has the craft aisle and Walmart. So if I want to get anything like arts, deco art paints, or my art journals, or, you know, anything artsy, I go up to Grand Island. My fine line paint applicators, I get those in Grand Island. What's Jen saying? Oh, Jen went to see. I've got to check out Lisa's. I'll do that after the chat, after the stream, Lisa. I want to see what you did. I'll bet it's cool. And I don't think Aunt Beck would mind if you posted. I think she put up an album for Mary's stuff that you do, like at Mary's Challenges in Aunt Beck's Creations. I don't think she would mind. I don't have a Facebook group, and I don't think Rose would mind either. Rose's group. Oh, you work inventory at Conestoga Mall? Oh my goodness, that's where Joanne's at. Is at in Conestoga Mall. Yeah, I go to Conestoga Mall. Not a lot, but almost every time I go up to Grand Island. So I'm running out of, it's getting kind of late. 20 years ago. That's, yeah, well, you know what, Rose, though, sometimes 20 years ago seems like yesterday. So I get it. I've done some inventory work in my needing extra money days, you know. When I was going to school, they'd have Regis inventory. You'd work on the weekends. You'd have those little, well, I don't know what you call them, little inventory, counter adding type machines, and you count you count how many things are on the shelf. Mostly stores like Target. I'll go in and do inventory for them, grocery stores. Yeah, you did Regis, Jen? Yeah, Regis inventory. Well, now we've got something in common. We had Telexon machines for that. That could be what these were. I don't know what they were. At that time, I didn't pay attention. I just called them calculators. Well, we got 3 people who did inventory. Cool. Yeah, that's where you learn to count by 5s and 10s, and you go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, small computers. I wouldn't say ours were computers. Ours probably were not that sophisticated. They kept count. You'd count and then you'd enter in the count. Yours were probably more sophisticated than ours were. They scanned? Oh, I don't think we scanned either. We counted. We counted, mentally counted, and then entered in the number. Groceries was the easiest, yeah. Yeah, those were the days. Probably a little bit longer than 20 years ago for me, but it was good extra money. You know, when you're going to school and you needed the extra money for the weekend job, it was okay. Well, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Now they have a device that you wave over the product and it counts. Probably, Connie. Yep, college second job. Yep. Well, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to say have a really good weekend. Do some art. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And the loodles in the faces. I call them laces. I call it tatting. Painted tatting is what I call it. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. And I'll try to come up with some fun challenges if you're enjoying them. They're just something fun to do. We'll try to build in our magazines. More tatting? Yeah, I'm going to have to learn those tatting patterns. You want to do more tatting, really? I was afraid maybe I would bore you guys. Thanks for joining us. Good night, Danny. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody who came in tonight. Especially your new folks, Marianne and Sandy and Sue Hillis. Some of you other new ones that I haven't met yet. There were quite a few new faces in here. Dawn, I think Dawn, the brass pair has been in here before, but she's kind of new to me. Thanks for joining us, Dawn. Super Beth. Beth, I completely missed you. Are you still here? Super Beth? I'm kind of scrolling back through chat. See, I hate that. I'm saying good night, and then all of a sudden I see Beth is here. So, thanks for joining us, Beth, and everybody else who joined us tonight. Have a great weekend. I'm gonna finally turn it off. Good night, everybody.